Hey guys, welcome back. Doing another live stream here, working on the ES-335 again. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe. Where I am here, things are opening up a little bit. I've started playing gigs again. They're very conscientious gigs though. Lots of social distancing, and outdoor gigs are what we've mostly been doing. Busy, just trying to squeeze in a live stream here before I head out to play another gig tonight, and hope everyone's staying safe and getting outdoors and getting a little exercise. I've been setting up my trailer for a trip next weekend. We probably won't be doing a live stream next weekend as I will be out of town. Yeah, we just thought we'd get back in here and do another live stream on the ES-335. We did the work on building that side bending jig last time, and we're going to really be making this thing soon. So before I start making the parts, I really want to get all the jigs set up, and the side bending jig is usually the most complex jig. We're going to build an inside mold as well, probably. I'll have to look at how exactly I'm going to build this one, but so the first thing we need to do is build this side bending jig, and to build this side bending jig, we're gonna need cam, right? So I thought we'd take the I've cleaned up the stuff that we did last week just a little bit, and I thought I'd take you over into Fusion and go through what we're gonna do as far as the cam work on these side bending jig pieces. So here we are in Fusion, and we got this model. I cleaned up these edges where the braces are going to be. So everything you don't see here in the model, I'm just going to make on the fly. I try to make these as easily as possible. I don't want to put a ton of work. When I first made them, I would like CNC every single part, so I'd create all these parts, I'd lay them out flat, and I'd make all of these parts. And it's just a lot of work, and you're not really getting anything that you really need from that. So what I do now is I just make these two plates, and I make these two bending calls, and I drew these in here just so that I would have dimensions for them from the technical drawing, but I just make those on the bandsaw and with hand tools, and all of these braces the same way as well. So I just make these out of MDF. I make them really quick and easy and cheap. I mean, I think a sheet of MDF in my area right now is about $35. I'm using less than a quarter a sheet to make one of these. So that's about as cheap as it gets. These cawls up here, I just make them out of scrap wood. So, if you're building guitars are round shapes, and lumber usually comes square, so you're going to have lots of scrap pieces that you can make this stuff out of. I suppose you could just laminate up MDF too if you wanted to do that, just to keep it cheap. The pieces that I pull around the outside edges here, I just reuse the same parts for all of the bending jigs I do. So I made them once, and I haven't had to make them again. They're still holding up great. So let's kind of get some of this stuff out of our way. I think what let's do is let's look at this call first. It's really an easy part. Hop over into manufacture, and gonna create a new setup. Now we're just gonna align this setup here. So I like to go to XZ orientation, and then it's asking for a Z. I give it the Z. I want the X-axis to be this one. I've got my stock as a quarter of an inch around each side. Okay, there's their setup. So I'm just going to make this really easy. So what I'd usually do is I'll just create a piece of stock that doesn't have this extra material on it. I'm just going to leave it in here just, well, actually, let's just change that. So I'll create a piece of material that's just this shape right here. Generally, when I'm doing something like this, I'd remove all the extra stock material, and then I do a finishing pass. But I think since there's really not a lot of material here, I think we'll just go straight into scallop. So we'll just go 3D scallop. We already have the tool up, which is nice. This is the 3/4 inch ball mill. We're going to select the geometry, the passes. I'm going to go with 1/10 of an inch, and that's it. That's it for making that one. It's very easy to create the cam on this part. So now let's try something a little bit more difficult. I'm going to hop over back into design just because it's easier to select the body parts that I want. This one is going to be about exactly the same. It's going to be a little bit trickier though, so I'm going to have to see what I'm going to do on that one. I'll catch you guys up on that once I get it figured out. Let's try to find one of these plates. There we go. Okay, let's create a new setup here. Again, let's go select Z and Z plane and X. So I'm going to select a Z. I'm going to select an X axis. I am going to leave the 1/4 inch. I have that set as the default in my cam, so I do need to set the point right there. Okay, so now I have a setup for this plate, and what I like to do is I like to reuse as much as possible. So I'll set up everything for this part, and then I will just bring in the other part, make a setup, and then copy all the cam over. You'll have to, so you'll have all of the all the settings will all be retained. You'll have to reselect the geometry, but it does make it quite easy. So the first thing I want to do here is, I think the first thing I want to do is to cut out this area here. So I'm going to go with a 2D pocket. I'm going to go with a 1/4 inch flat end mill. I'm going to select that geometry. I want stock to leave 0.60 thousandths and 0 axial. I want multiple depths at 0.125. There we go. It's pretty straightforward. So to clean that up, I'm going to go with a 2D contour. This is pretty typically how I do things. I like to do a 1/10 of an inch step down to clear material with 60 thousandths stock to leave. And then I like to do this 2D contour. I'm going to select these same geometries again. And I like to have no stock to leave. I like my step down to be 1/4 of an inch, 0.25. And then we're going to do multiple finishing passes, 30 thousandths each at 75 inches per minute. And there we go. So that's that. Yeah, I think now we're going to do the same thing on this contour here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it because there's just a few changes. So I'm going to edit that. I'm going to change the geometry. Get rid of those. I'm going to select this outline geometry. And I'm going to change that step down paths to 0.125. I'm going to add a stock to leave of 60 thousandths radial and none axial. Okay. Oh, I've got multiple. So change multiple passes to 0. There we go. So then I'm going to duplicate it again. Actually, I'm going to duplicate this one because it has all the parameters that I need already in it. So I'm just going to duplicate it. I'm going to pull it down below. And then I'm going to edit it. I'm going to remove those geometries. Put it right there. And that should be it. There we go. So we've got all of that. Now we just have to create all of these notches. So that's going to be a 2D pocket. Again, I don't really like to go super clean with this. So I'm probably just going to go nice and easy with a... and just select these geometries. Again, I'm using oop, we've got a little problem right there. I'm gonna have to fix that. This piece didn't quite project out past that line, but I won't hold you guys up fixing that. I'll fix that before next time. I'm using the 3D Space Mouse here to manipulate this model. This makes it really easy to get around to where you want to be. Oh, I've got another one right there. So I've got a couple little things to fix, but we'll go ahead and check out what we get here. So this is what I really want to see is this here, but I've got to change the step downs. So let's go 0 stock to leave, multiple depths, 0.125. There we go. So that's what I want to get. I've got a couple of fixes here that I need to do. There's a problem with this one for some reason. But let's edit that and see where we're at. I'm not sure why it doesn't like that one. Okay, but essentially that's what we're going for, something like this. Let's do a quick little simulation. I like to put stock here, and I like to put wall paint and operation material. Then I get this wall paint thing, and it makes it easier to see what's going on. And I like to change my toolpath to tail. So now we can really watch how this all works out. I also like to put this info on so I can see my feed rate. Oh, we got Scar, my guitar here. Yep, Sean's here checking us out. He's picking up a lot of Fusion360 tricks and coming along really nicely. So yeah, if you're not following his channel, check him out. Okay, so that's basically it. You know, I have a couple things to fix here, but that's basically it for the cam. It's pretty simple, straightforward stuff. Just a little quick tutorial on how I go about cutting simple 2.5 dimension parts. It gets a lot more complicated when you get into doing necks and 3D contours, but you know, we did a 3D contour here and we did this and it looks pretty good to me. So okay, so yeah guys, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for tuning in. We're just continuing to make progress on this ES-335. I can't wait to build another neck. You know, that neck was really fun to make and I really enjoyed myself making it. So I am gonna go get myself ready for a gig. I've got I usually have a cup of tea, a little green tea when I'm doing these live streams. I'm hitting the espresso today because got to get a little pep in my step so we can get out to this gig. But busy times. I hope you guys are having a good summer. We're gonna keep up on this, and you know, like if you wanna win this guitar, then definitely let's do the Instagram. I'm doing Instagram videos. I'm trying to boost up my followers on Instagram, and you know, the hashtag is TCIF360. Sorry, I haven't used that one for a little while. But yeah, make a video, and we're gonna give this thing away. So I can't wait to get this thing done. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, check that subscribe, and we will catch you guys next time.